right, so for this example, we're just going to, if we go over to Chrono24, what we're looking at here is the Tudor Black Bay Red. And I'm just using this one as an example to help those of you that are a little weary with Chrono24 figure out how you can sometimes use feedback from eBay to gauge the integrity of the seller. So for the first one, let's just see. We've gone through kind of what all these icons on the bottom mean. Personally, I like to stick with ones that have plenty of successful checkouts. I mean, this one here with 102 would be a prime example. Let me scroll down to the bottom and we'll just go back to page 1 here. Okay. All right. So here's one example. All right. Seller from Great Britain. They are a pro lister. Been selling since 2012, and they do also have a brick and mortar store, which is reassuring. Now, they don't have successful checkouts, as you can see. That could be because they didn't buy into using Chrono24 with via a trusted checkout. But let's see how we can maybe find the seller on eBay potentially. So I'm going to copy, if I can get it, this reference number. All right, so if you go into your eBay, you can search for items, right? Let's go to search. You want to go into advanced. All right, so there's two ways of doing this. One, you can try to search for the seller's name. What I'm going to do in my keyword is put in the reference number of the Tudor. And this seller is from Great Britain, United Kingdom. So I'll go down here to countries and try to find the same one. And here we go, United Kingdom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and search. And here we go. This is Austin K Co Limited. There's only one from the United Kingdom here, and it's Watchbuyers UK. So this particular one, not also offering on eBay. That's okay. Let's go on to the next one on the bottom here. Now, not a particularly good picture. They do have 11 successful checkouts, as you can see here. Now, this is an American seller, Chronodynamics. Let's go ahead and go back to our search. We'll leave the reference number in the search. I think it'll help narrow down for this particular listing. And let's go ahead and change this to United States. And we'll search again. And let's click on this one here. All right, so here you go, Chronodynamics. It is the same seller, Chronodynamics. You can actually see some of the same pictures here, cropped a little bit differently on their Chrono24 listing. Now, they do have 11 successful checkouts. Unfortunately, if you click on the feedback on here, it just tells you that they have 11 successful checkouts. If you click additional info, it just takes you to this trusted checkout by Chrono24. Doesn't really give you specific feedback. Now, if you do want that, or on this particular one, you can find the same seller listed at exactly the same price, same username. And you can see they have 841 feedback, 100% positive feedback. So in that instance, say you want to go through with this purchase via eBay instead of Chrono24, you can now do that. Or you already know that eBay is going to take 10% off the top. Chrono24 fees are going to vary depending on the package and agreement that they have with Chrono24. So this will help you feel at least a little bit more comfortable making that purchase via Chrono24. Now, as I will have mentioned before, if you want to go PayPal, Chrono24 at the moment mainly does bank wire transfer. Hey, you can get this same piece via eBay, PayPal. Or you now know that you can reach out to that seller and contact them, make them an offer, get into a conversation and say, hey, I'd like to do this exchange via PayPal, if at all possible, versus the bank wire transfer. Now, you already know they have PayPal, because they're selling on eBay, and PayPal is one of the payment methods that they're offering. So that's not going to be an issue. So don't be scared to ask the seller if you are in fact ready to buy. Don't be scared to dig in. Mainly you want to be comfortable. You can reach out to them, ask them if they can do PayPal to provide the protection that you're looking for. And then you're going to be good to go. Also, look for that seller on eBay. Now, I've showed you how to search by country only because Chrono24 will list the country that the seller is in. You can see here. So actually got here is the seller that I purchased my JLC Reverso through. Now, when I looked at the listing, I found it originally on Chrono24, and then I was able to find this particular seller on eBay as well. Just going to scroll down and look at his current offerings. I'm going to click on one of them. All right, and you can see part of the reason why I felt pretty comfortable going with them there. They had several successful checkouts already. It was recommended by 3 other sellers, trusted sellers since 2009, pro listing status, and everything really looked good in terms of my level of comfort. Now, I did also look for the same seller on eBay. Now, this is how I did that. Obviously, I took part of the listing from the JLC listing, which I can no longer find on here because I've already purchased it, but that's okay. Back in here into advanced, I will put this part of this listing up here, change the location to Germany, hit search, and here we go. Here is the same listing. There we go. There it is on Chrono24. Here's the same listing on eBay. He has 99.1% positive feedback. If you click on that, here we go. Now, you see he does have negative feedback on here. If you're dealing with somebody or a seller that speaks a language that is not one that you speak or read, in this case, I'm assuming most of this feedback is German, but guys, Google Translate is a fantastic thing. So I'm going to copy this, go to Google and do German to English. And there we go. Super fast delivery, product as described, happy again. If you want to take a look at their negative feedback, copy, paste, Google Translate German to English. Now this doesn't get it right every time. Lighter, defective packaging, not new, photos presumably retouched. So if you're dealing with a seller that speaks a language that is not your native language, don't be afraid to use Google. It will at least help you put together enough of the feedback where you can gauge whether or not you feel comfortable going through with that transaction and buying that seller. Another thing that you can also do, particularly if sellers say that they have a brick and mortar store, if you click on show seller information, it's going to give you an address. Okay, so let's take this 425 Strand, London. And if he has a store, go to Google Maps and you can paste in. There we go, 42 Strand, London, UK. Let's zoom in. Take this little guy here for a street view. And let's take a look around, shall we? Ah, look what we've got here. Go ahead and zoom in. And there, in fact, is the brick and mortar store, Austin K, the watch specialist. So in terms of their particular feedback for the tutor specifically that we're talking about, that checks out, okay? Or at least there is a store at that location that has the same name that's in the listing. So if a listing has a brick and mortar store, don't be afraid to pop into Google Earth, do a street view, see what it looks like. Now, a lot of these places, keep in mind, if they might not be brick and mortar stores proper. What I mean by that is that some of these particular sellers are either private sellers, and they don't have, while they do have a place where you could locally come and look at the watches that they're offering, it's not necessarily a conventional store. It's more a secure space where potential buyers can come check out the watches that they're offering for sale. So don't, I'd say don't necessarily be freaked out if you put the address in and it seems like a more residential area. So that pretty much wraps up everything that I have in terms of trying to do your legwork and research the seller that you find on Chrono24. You can, again, look for them on eBay and try to see some of their feedback that way. You can also use Google Maps if they seem like they have a conventional brick and mortar store and check them out that way. And don't be afraid to reach out to the seller, try to complete the transaction through PayPal. And if you can't find any of those other routes, it might be worth just checking another Chrono24 listing and see what you find on that seller until you feel comfortable handing over your money and being fairly confident that you're going to get the watch that you're paying for. If you guys have any questions or concerns regarding Chrono24 or anything I covered in this video, please post them in the comment section below and I'll do the best that I can to help. If you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. That's it for this one. CG out.